Count off, class leader.
1, Harris. 2, Beauchamp.
3, Doe. 4.
This particular class, when they started, a lot of them didn't have a clue as to what was going to happen and where they were going to go. We bring them in on the first day and we start the stress right off the bat. We start the name calling, we start some of the foul language, some of the things that wouldn't be appropriate in most of class settings, but this is what they're going to get in the street, so we want them to know what's coming.
The first few days we're definitely getting used to it. It's not quite as paramilitary as an actual academy would be, but we did get yelled at quite a bit. I kind of had the heads up a little bit because I knew about the program from previous classes and he was talking to me about it in last semester. So I started training because I am not a runner. I played softball and marching band, so a little bit of activity, but nothing like this.
It actually started off kind of rough, I'd say the first couple of weeks, but you know, as we got on, you know, we had kind of open-minded conversations. I think that kind of broke the mold a little bit. You know, we just find out what we like to do, you know how we like to interact with each other, just making people laugh, just always remaining positive, no matter, you know, if somebody get into it or, you know, we have disagreements, we always can come back and, you know, just laugh at it or talk about it, no matter how severe.
When they come in, you develop a first impression and you say, that one's not gonna make it. And then they surprise you. And they come out of their shell, or they develop skills that you don't think they're going to develop, or that they're too far behind developmentally to acquire, and they do it. And I can think, I don't even have to go back to records, I can think of people who did literally 0 push-ups the first day. They were able to do 0 push-ups the first day. And now they're in there with everybody else.
The most challenging thing I would say is relinquishing control and to certain aspects and letting someone else have that. It is a very militant structure to law enforcement, and so you kind of just have to understand that there are a lot of things that are not in your control, and you just have to work the best you can under pressure and just kind of take it as it comes and figure out how to problem solve and how to work through it.
We tell the students we're going to challenge them, and a lot of them have a fear of what's coming. A lot of them have never had to stand in front of a class and speak. Well, part of what we do in law enforcement, we have to diffuse situations. We have to break up crowds. So one of the first things we do is make them come in and tell about themselves, give their own bio, and how easy is that topic. You know yourself better than anybody. But you can watch that person from the time they stand in front of that class on the first week, they're dancing back and forth, to the end when they have to get up and make a presentation. And they're able to stand there and they're very stern, and they're able to articulate, and they've learned some of the legal language, and you can see them incorporate that. But an example, several students come in have never fired a firearm before. And our program starts off with training weapons and simunitions and airsoft, and then we go to live weapons. And the first time that student fires that weapon for the first time, in this class and every class, I actually have had one student that tears come to their eyes and roll down their cheeks because there was a fear. And when that gun exploded in front of them, it was that much more of a fear. But as the weeks roll on, and as they get more used to the weapon and start taking those fundamentals that they've been trained, now they start shooting very well. And lots of times that person that stood there with tears in their eyes, they end up being the top gun.
The reason why I went into law enforcement is because it might sound cliche, but I really love helping people. But at the same time, it's something different. You know, a lot of people resort to sports or, you know, music or some other sort of entertainment. But I just really like interacting with people, you know, the connections you have with them, you know, just that safety, that protection of knowing that, you know, you're always there no matter what, you're always needed.
I grew up wanting to make a difference, but never really understanding how. And then one day it kind of hit me, just seeing law enforcement working through the community and seeing what sort of effect they have on people, and realizing that it's not just bad, it's a lot of good, and that would be a route that I would enjoy taking as far as doing what I can to help when and where I can within the community.
I grew up in the projects of downtown Nashville, across the street from the Nashville Nissan Stadium. And so police there are kind of the bad people, you know, and as soon as you see them, you run away. And so I was kind of afraid, not because I did anything, but because that was, you know, everybody said they were bad. But through all the interactions that I had, they were always so nice to me. And I honestly feel like police, in an indirect way, saved my life, you know, because had my mom not lost custody of me, there's no telling where I'd be right now. My mom had me when she was 14, so there's no telling. I have 2 kids right now, but I mean, I probably would have had kids at 15, 16. I might have tried drugs, I just don't know. So in an indirect way, police really helped shape who I am today.
It is character building is what we're doing, and a lot of the scenarios we put them in, such as chemical spray, and making them feel what it's like to have that spray. If you're going to use this type of weapon, then you need to understand what the aspects are going to be on yourself. So a lot of things that we do, the student has a fear of that, but after they've experienced it, they overcome those fears, and they come back and tell us that now they understand if they're going to select that type of enforcement, what's it going to be like for that person. It gives them a better understanding about what they're going to administer.
Experience overall, I think, has been amazing. It's taught us a lot of things, you know, discipline and self-control, and we've learned the first few weeks, if somebody did something, we all paid for it, and that's really kind of taught self-responsibility and also to work as a team.
In the last 4 weeks or so, especially, they've come through in a what we used to call esprit de corps. Most people term it as just spirit. The spirit of the class. They are loud and proud of being Session 22. They're proud of being cadets. They're proud of being in our academy, but they're really proud of being Session 22.
Even though it's been a long ride, you know, I still think Session 22 is the best session ever, you know, because how we can just make anybody laugh, like anybody that ever just came in, we just made them feel like they was a part of the session. We just always made them feel like they was a part of the group, just what nobody considered an outsider to us. So I think, you know, that's one thing. And Detective Corcoran, he's one of the best instructors I have ever had, and along with Officer Overall, them combined, the experience that they have is unquestionable. They know a lot. They real funny too. They don't tell you that, but they some comedians. So that's what I'm gonna miss the most about them too.
I would tell this class that they have a challenge in front of them, and that we have set them into motion to give them the tools that they need to meet these challenges, and that they need to go forward and treat the public with the respect that they have talked about in this academy, and take the little nuggets that they've learned and apply those in such a manner that they're going to be able to go out and have the skill set and have the integrity and have that honor and be able to provide whatever jurisdiction that they decide to go to with that security and give that meaningful understanding to the citizens in the way they deserve.